Are you aware that 70% of pastors constantly fight depression and burnout for the frustration experienced as a result of ministry workload, discouragement, and pressure? We help leaders grow healthy churches. We are excellent at what we do, and we are fast becoming the best of the very best. MagnaCraft Consulting is set up to help both small and large-sized churches become healthier by using proven diagnostics tools, effective retention strategies. We give the right and appropriate and professional advice. We are the certified church consultants with the Society of Church Consulting in the United States of America. Trust us to help you grow. Don't wait till it's too late. You will be glad you did. Call us now on 0802-324-2258. Email contact@magnacraftconsulting.com or magnacraftconsulting@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @MagnaCraft Limited. MagnaCraft Consulting. Doing church God's way. Hello. Welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by MagnaCraft Consulting Team, anchored by Niyi Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi Dunmade.
Welcome everyone to Monday Morning Matters, coming your way every Monday for the past 6 years. Welcome to the 44th Monday Morning Matters in the year 2025. This is the first Monday morning in November. You're going to get value as usual. Monday morning is such a very good platform to help church administrators, church leaders, pastors, staff, volunteers, head of departments in churches to be able to get their church working well. And so we want to this is the second to the last month in the year 2025. Thank you for hooking up with us. Thank you for following us. Thank you for subscribing. We are glad you are part of this live broadcast show. My name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of MagnaCraft Consulting. Yes, we are glad you are part of this live broadcast show. My name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the lead consultant, founder and CEO of MagnaCraft Consulting Limited. Now, let me tell you a little bit about MagnaCraft Consulting. MagnaCraft Consulting is a church consulting firm that helps local churches to grow healthier through empirical assessment, revitalization, trainings, and strategic blueprint. Our vision is very simple: to be the leading church health consultancy that creates actionable, sustainable, and adaptable solutions. I'm also a double certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. and also Church Consultation University of Church Answers, also in the U.S. I'm your host every week, Mondays to be precise. Every week, Facebook Live, YouTube broadcast, unedited, every Monday, 7 a.m. Nigerian time, West African time, or GMT +1. I'm also known as the church health guide of the 21st century. Now, a big thank you to every one of you commenting, liking, reacting, telling us how timely our content is. I'm so glad that you were able to be on the other side of the camera to watch us. Thank you. Drop me a comment and let me know you were watching. Let me know also that you are getting value for your time well spent here. Let's do some promo, and then we'll come back to the juice of the day, which is learning the most important skills for healthy discipleship. Learning the most important skills for healthy discipleship. It's Monday Morning Matters. We believe that our expertise will be of great benefit to you and also to your church as a whole. Please, let us have some conversations, and I'm sure you're going to get it. Today, we're going to be talking on learning the most important skill for healthy discipleship. Learning the most important skill for healthy discipleship. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about leading people who don't like you. Now, the thing is, if you you are as a pastor, I don't want to believe that all your congregation will like you. And you have to be able to lead people who like you and also lead people who don't like you. And the quality of your leadership will be dependent on how you lead the people that don't like you. All right, and that's it for the second Monday in the month of November 2025. And in third Monday, and that will be 17th of November, we're going to look at your call, your leadership call, how it matters, the importance of it. How do you build a reliable inner leadership team? And then the last Monday, before we go into the Christmas mood of December, we're going to be looking at creating a healthy volunteer culture. How do you create a healthy volunteer culture? And then please make sure that if you want to become a certified church consultant, Dr. Tom Rayner, one mentor, a fantastic mentor of mine, he has been able to give over 40% discount for anyone in Africa. You want to become a certified church consultant. Please come in contact with me. Some lads have been able to get some certification. Some people are going through it, and some persons have also reached out to me on how. I'm going to give you all the information. Over 40% discount. I didn't have that discount, but at least I'm so happy that I was able to get value for every dollar spent in that training. So you want to become a certified church consultant, you want to be equipped, empowered, also well trained as a certified church consultant to help your own church, to help other churches. Let us have that conversation going. My books are still on Amazon and on Roving Heights stores nationwide in Nigeria. You can order them. Church Retention is very hot. It's still one of my best books, though I've written 2 other books. Church Retention is a fantastic book. It took me 4 years to write that book, and I'm sure you're going to get value for reading that book. Colored and rich. Then the second one is Busting Church Growth Myth. Please go on Amazon or contact me directly or go to Roving Heights stores nationwide. You're going to get it. And the latest one, which is very hot, data-driven leadership. What data should you put on the table to lead and manage your church well? That book is very, very, very good. All right. Then please go on our YouTube channel to be able to get quite a lot of other videos that we have done that will help you greatly as a church leader. Now, today we're going to look at learning the most important skills for healthy discipleship. Now, one of the things I want to say that this whole month is going to be on the people side of ministry. And today we're going to look at the most important skill for healthy discipleship. This month is going to be hot. I'm going to usually we like to make sure that we end the month on a very strong note, on a very exciting note. And so we're going to delve on the people side of ministry, because ministry is not built on program. You don't assess your church by the programs or by the platforms that you have built, but by the people you have developed. All right? Because the church is majorly about people, not programs. It's majorly about people. The reason why God has called us in the ministry gifts or called us to play a part in the church, it is because of people, it's because of souls. The Great Commission is to make and mature disciples. All right? And a disciple is a learner and a follower. All right? It's just a two sides of the coin. The flip side of the coin is the learner. The other side of the coin is a follower. You cannot be a disciple if you don't fulfill the two sides of the coin, which is learner and follower. Learner and follower. And that must be a balance. I've seen churches that they have good followership and they don't have good learners as it is. And I've seen churches who have good learners but no good followership. And so there needs to be a balance. Every disciple in your church, every believer in your church must be very apt in terms of learning and also following. Today we're going to unpack one of the most overlooked yet vital skills for every disciple and leader in any church all over the world. That is learning. How much your congregation is willing to learn will determine how healthy your discipleship is. Why is learning so critical? Why is learning so critical? And it's so critical because a lot of disciples have been able to learn the wrong things, and so it's very difficult for them to unlearn and then relearn, because learning is one of the most important skills. So if you have a congregation, make sure that you are able to improve the learning capacity of that congregation so that you can be able to have a healthy relationship and a healthy discipleship in your church. So why is learning so critical? Because every growing church is led by a learning leader. I mean, I've said that in one of my trainings, that if your church needs to grow, the leaders must be learning. I can tell you that if the leaders are not learning, the church will not grow. There's a direct proportionality to the learning capability of the leaders and the growing potentials of the church. So if your church needs to grow, it must be led by learning leaders. We're not talking about people who have learned. We are talking about some group of people or leaders who are given to continuous or constant learning. And every healthy disciple is first a humble learner. All right? Why is learning the foundation of discipleship? When Jesus said, go and make disciples, he didn't say go and make followers or go and build up attendance. He didn't say that. A disciple means a learner and a follower. A learner that is following. All right. A learner that is following. It's very critical for us to understand that if a disciple is not learning and is following, is an unhealthy disciple. Now, at the heart of discipleship is a commitment to continuous learning. There's no graduation to discipleship. There's no graduation to being a disciple. And so the heart of every discipleship is a commitment to continuous learning about God, about people, about leadership, about yourself, about how to be a good evangelist, how to go into the community to beam the light of the gospel and things like that. The moment a leader stops learning, the church stops growing. You need to tweet that. The moment the leaders or a leader stops learning, the church stops growing. Healthy discipleship thrives when people are encouraged to ask questions. Now look at the disciples of Jesus. As he was preaching in those crowds, in those congregations, they were asking him pertinent questions. They were asking him troubling questions. Now, you don't just keep preaching at people. Healthy discipleship thrives when people are encouraged to ask questions. And you see, one of the things that Jesus actually gave one of the most profound revelations when people asked him very great questions. So allow your congregation to ask you questions, and because in the process of asking you questions, they tend to learn the things that is most important for them for healthy discipleship. Leaders model humility and curiosity. All right? If you model it, your people will be humble and be curious to ask you questions. The culture of any church must celebrate growth, not perfection. So when people are asking questions, don't begin to question if they are perfect or not, but they are trying to see how they can improve their spiritual life and grow as it is. Now look at this, for example. Think of the early church in Acts chapter 2. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teachings. That devotion is what I call learning. And learning was the fuel for that unity in the early church. That learning was the fuel for the kind of growth they were getting in the early church. That learning was the potential for the power that they had in Acts chapter 2. Now let's go to the next phase. The learning culture every church needs. If your church is going to stay healthy, it must become a learning environment. That means that where 2 or 3 are gathered, you must create that atmosphere for people to learn. Bible says, if any, albeit when you come together, 1 Corinthians 14 verse 26 or so, albeit when you come together, everyone has a tongue, everyone has an interpretation, a psalm, a hymn. And you see, the thing is that if all of us don't have, if the church does not have a learning environment, then everybody will be competitive and be trying to intimidate one another. So let's talk about the 3 layers of learning culture that creates healthy disciples and teams in your church. Personal learning, very critical. How do you grow yourself? You can't begin to grow your church when you have not grown yourself. Personal learning is the fundamental basics or layer for learning culture. All right, personal learning, grow yourself. Are you reading? Are you reflecting? Are you receiving feedback? Are you dealing with your blind spots? Are you improving your spiritual state? Do your leaders have growth projections, goals? Remember, you can't take people where they haven't grown. All right? The fact that you have what it takes to take your leaders to a place you have been does not mean it will suddenly happen. They have to grow to that point of being able to get there by your instruction. So you can't take people where you haven't grown into and where they also haven't grown into. 2, team learning. After personal learning, there's what I call team learning, growing together. After every service or event, ask yourself, what worked? What can it improve? Encourage shared insights. Because what I see is different from what my pastors will see. Everyone is seeing things from different perspectives, and we need every perspective to paint a better picture. Don't make the pulpit the only classroom, all right, where people are going to be learning all they need to learn. Host monthly learning huddles where leaders share what they are learning in books, in the scriptures, and also from ministry experiences. Organizational learning. As a church, how are you collectively having organizational thinking and organizational learning, growing your systems together? Evaluate ministries regularly, not to criticize, but to find ways to improve. Document lessons learned so that you don't repeat mistakes. After major events, turn mistakes into manuals for future excellence in program execution. A church that learns fast grows strong. Yes, you need to twist that. A church that learns fast grows strong. And a church that refuses to learn eventually burns out. That is something you need to tweet out for me now. A church that learns fast grows strong, and a church that refuses to learn eventually burns out. Let's go to the last phase, and I'm going to be done in the 7 minutes. How learning transforms relationship and team culture. When a team is learning together, conflict becomes conversations, not a crisis. It's a very critical thing for us to understand that when there's a learning environment and everyone is humble enough to learn, the team is learning together, conflict becomes a conversation, not a crisis. Here's the reason why. Learning becomes empathy, and then you start to see from other person's view when you are humble enough to hear his view. As a leader, create safe spaces for your team to learn through feedbacks. I've seen insecure leaders who don't like feedbacks. Don't punish mistakes. Mistakes can even be a platform for us to even learn better. Coach through them. Let people learn from their mistakes so that they'll be able to avoid that mistakes in the future. The best team aren't perfect. They are just willing to learn, move past the mistakes, and grow together. Now, what are the practical actions for church leaders and pastors? Schedule team reflection days, whether it's a Monday or a Saturday, whereby people can just come, oh, what has happened in the week? What happened in this program? Have a form of team reflection days. It doesn't have to be long, maybe 15, 20 minutes, just to discuss the lessons from the weekend service. Ask your leaders, what did you learn about people this week? I mean, that might be a conversation that will help the learning curve of your leadership. Model teachability publicly as a pastor. All right, that you are willing to learn. If you project that you are willing to learn, the congregation will also position themselves and with the willingness to learn. When you grow, your team will also grow with that mindset as it is. All right, building learning system in your church. Let's make this practical. All right, to embed learning in your ministry structures, your Christian education must be top tier so that you are doing the following, as I'm going to mention it quickly. Create a feedback loop at every program. Collect insight from both learners and attendees. Have a kind of questionnaires to have their feedbacks so that I can see that, use that feedback loop to improve your programs subsequently. Document and share your learning. Keep a lesson learned journal that is accessible to all leaders. You see, it's one thing to keep those lessons learned. It's another thing for everyone to be able to access it so that they can learn from everyone's experiences and avoid the mistakes that has happened in the past. Train continuously. I mean, give your church to training continuously. If you are positioning the church for continuous learning, then there must be training continuously. Use monthly leadership sessions for equipping training, and not just to give out instructions and direction. Training is very important. Empower a learning champion, someone responsible for collecting insight and leading the growth discussion. And the last one, which is celebrate growth stories. Share testimonies of leaders and pastors who learned something, they were able to adjust. You know that this is where they are, but they learned something, they were able to adjust their mindset, and they were able to produce remarkable results because of that. You celebrate those growth stories, and that will help us to help others who need improvement to know that they have to pay the price to unlearn and relearn and learn the things that need for the church to improve. Now, I want to just make a prayer to you. As you step into this week, ask yourself and your team, are we learning? Are we improving? What's our learning capacity? The church of tomorrow belongs to leaders who keep learning today. The church of tomorrow belongs to leaders who keep learning today. If you see a leader who has faded away, he has stopped improving himself through learning capacity. Remember, you can't disciple people into transformation if you are not personally being transformed yourself. So let's build churches where learning is not optional, but it's mandatory. It's a way of life. It's part of the DNA of the church. Now, let's pray. If this helped you, I want you to just pray that everyone in your church will come to a point whereby they learn at Jesus' feet and they become mature disciples. If this has helped, I need to wrap up now. If this has helped you today, share it to your leadership team. Join us next week, Monday, for another Monday Morning Matters as we continue on and please don't forget to subscribe and comment your biggest takeaway, your biggest input you've learned from me. Let's keep building a healthy community together, church together. If you have any church-related questions for me, let's have them. Any inquiries, let's have them. I'm going to have the conversation going after this live broadcast. I'm sure if you have asked me any question, you're going to get more than an answer from me. This video has been helpful to you. Please do give us a thumbs up, share us to your community, share us to your pastor, your staff. Drop me a comment in the comment section. Also, let me know how can we improve the learning capabilities of churches, because that is very critical to how healthy the discipleship system of your church. So drop me a comment in the comment section what you feel about the things you have learned. I'm sure you're going to be very, very grateful. So please, any question, let's have them. Please like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on the notification bell so that when we come up with a valuable content like this, you will be notified immediately. We do consultation, we do revitalization, we do trainings, we do strategic planning for churches. Please reach out to us so that we can help your church, help you with excellent church consulting for health, vitality, and result. Thank you for your attention so far, and may God bless each and every one of you as you have a fruitful week ahead. Till I come your way next week Monday with a valuable content, I say bye-bye. I love you, and God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.